Okay. Good evening. All right. Everybody doing all right?
Fine.
All right. Mr. Pete, Honest John Record Shop. From what I was told, there's only 2 of you left here on King Street.
That's
black
correct.
business owners.
That's correct.
And because this is Black History Month, I want to get some feedback from you as to some of the questions we've been asking, what we call take it to the street. We are losing a lot of our youth to crime, drugs, and the other half to the jailhouse. Can you tell me what's going on with this?
Well, from a perspective of a business person and also an individual that also of a person of color, this is my personal opinion. I'm not an expert on anything that going on, except that my background leads me as a police officer and also as a businessman, taught me that one of the most important things that we need as a group, we need as a people, is we need education. Education is the key. An individual that have a decent education very seldom commit crime. A person that have a decent education very seldom is without a job. And if they find themselves without a job, they're easily to find a job. Now, I'm an enterprise. I've been here over 30 years. But again, if you just look at the outside, you wouldn't believe that I earn a PhD. I have an associate degree, I have a bachelor's degree, and I have a master's degree. Because my family taught me at an early age that with an education, I could survive in this society. I can do good in this society. So this is what we have to stress to our kids. To go to school, you don't have to earn a PhD, you don't have to earn a master, but at least earn an associate degree. With an education, a proper training, you can succeed and you would survive in this society. A person without, James Brown said it many years ago, if you don't have an education, you might as well be dead. And that was one of the songs that inspired me. I realized with my parents' help and other folks on my way that helped me that I had to have an education. And education teach you one thing. If you don't know about a specific subject, you know where to go at to find out about that subject. And I found out that most of the people that don't get in trouble are the ones that have a decent education. Education is number one.
Got another question for you. It seems like we got a problem because it seems like we're losing respect for the church. We're losing faith in all of the things that we used to stand for. The church at one time used to be like a hospital. It was a place where we can go and get what you call fix up, you know, like get some doctorate. But we're losing respect for that, and we're also losing respect for marriage, responsibility, obligation, love, covenant, and all of the above. Speak to me about that. And then I want to ask you, why are the, maybe I should ask one of these ladies that question. Why is it that ladies are settling for the shack-up guy or the guy that she has to help take care of when she deserves more? Talk to me about that.
Well, ethics is important. We need to realize that society is changing, and the church is changing. The church should not accept certain things. And one of the things that back in the 50s and 60s, the church wouldn't accept a person that having had a child and have them to remain in the church. And if they did remain in the church, the pastor would sometimes give counseling, things of that nature. But At the present time, things have changed to the point where the church is at a point where it's almost absent of meal in the church. Very few meals go to church. You can count the meals in the church. So we need to first of all try to get the young people in the church. And if we can get that established, probably, you know, things would change as far as from a religious standpoint. But males don't go to church. Mostly it's female. The church is growing because of the females, not because of the males. And I think that's a major problem. When I went to church, I remember my first time going to church, I almost had to hide from my friends to go to church because they would ridicule you. And now, you know, most of the males don't go to church because of that. Most of them get teased when you belong to a church. And because of that, a lot of males don't come to church. But the church is still on solid foundation, and we need the church, and the church forever playing a major role in the society and in our lives.
So you're saying the hospital is the church?
Is the church.
Okay, last question in closing. Tell me, do you feel like a lot of the larger corporations are pooling and networking together to come up with the kind of power to keep the small businessman under control? And why is it that the small businessman won't pull together like these large corporations to level the playing field? Are they lying when they say they want to be better businessmen and they want to have this and they want to earn and they want their kids to go to good college and when they claim they want to go to New York and they keep buying a ticket for Florida? Why are they doing that? Who are they afraid of?
Well, speaking from a business point of view, this is my opinion. I feel as though that the reason why a lot of small businesses don't network together is because, first of all, is that it's not that many small businesses. And because of not that many small businesses, and we don't have the capital as the large businessmen do, and because of lack of capital, there's very few networking. But I feel as though that because of lack of capital that keep small business to networking, and small business don't have the money, and because of that, the larger business have the capital, so they can network. They can also be able to provide a better livelihood for a larger amount of people. But the bottom line is the small business is the one that run this country.
Check this out. Martin Luther King says, if you stand up, the man can't ride your back. So I feel like if you and I had a small business and we came together and we were to network like these guys are doing, they can't control us because we won't allow them. In other words, if I don't push your drugs, you can't make me sell it. So you're going to have to sell it to me at a better price because we refuse to buy it for the price that you're trying to sell it to me. You see what I'm saying? I want to ask this young lady right here the same question I asked you, because the question was referred for a lady. Ma'am, why is it that ladies today are settling for second best? Shack up, taking care of the man. Why is it that they don't demand more and instead of just settling for what they can get? Tell me something about that.
I think it's simply because they have low self-esteem and they refuse to demand more from young men, and especially young black men. I am from Bennettsville, South Carolina, which is known to politicians in the White House as the corridor of shame. When I look at Michelle Obama, I feel like I too can be married to a nice and educated young man like Barack Obama. And that's how I feel.
Thank you very much.